And then I saw her face. I'm a believer, and not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love.
Hey guys, CYHD here, and I am back with another reaction video. And today, I'm going to be reacting to Pinkie Tail's Slumberjack by Magpiepony. And yeah, I know I usually do my regular schedule, you know, like Legend of Korra on Mondays and Danny Phantom on Tuesdays and Star Versus on Wednesdays. And on Thursdays I do Ruby and I do Steven Universe on Fridays. And I do some My Little Pony stuff on Saturdays and a non-pony video on Sundays. But you know, since I'm recording too much videos that are like really long, I'm gonna take a break from making long videos and start recording videos that are like lower than an hour. But as for this video, this is 46 minutes, so it shouldn't be that bad. So yeah, Slumberjack. Apparently, we're getting Applejack as Sleeping Beauty. Oh boy, I can't wait. I've been waiting for a while for this to come out, and yes, it finally came, and I'm prepared to react to it. And yeah, you remember last year when I went to camp at Calvin Crest? It apparently got canceled due to a huge fire, a huge forest fire. So yeah, they canceled it. But thankfully, I get to watch this today. Anyways, let's jump right in. Oh yeah!
Pinkie Tails!
Yay!
Slumberjack! I can't wait to tell you tonight's story, Poundin' Pumpkin, and it should get you right to sleep too, because it's all about sleeping.
Well, not just sleeping.
There once was an Earth Pony kingdom called Appalestria. The ponies
Appalestria!
in this kingdom had one sole purpose: to grow and sell apples, which they would then trade for other resources with neighboring kingdoms. It was ruled by a benevolent king and a kind-hearted queen, who
Pear butter and Bright
to
Mac.
have a child of their own. At last, the
Aww.
blessed day arrived when
Applejack.
they welcomed a healthy, beautiful, golden-maned orange fur baby filly into the world. A filly that they had named Appalora.
Appalora.
Ma? Pa? Pinkie, how did you... Wait. You know, every time I get roped into these things, I keep thinking, there's no way it could possibly get more embarrassing. Pinkie, you truly astound me with your ability to prove me wrong.
I think you meant to say goo goo gaga.
Okay.
That's crossing the line.
Yeah, I agree.
It was custom in those days for the birth of a royal foal to be blessed with gifts from neighboring
You know, I
kingdoms.
wonder who's going to be
Gifts that were delivered by
Maleficent.
those kingdoms invited ambassadors. It was also customary for their own ambassador to accompany the others so that each type of pony would be equally represented.
Oh, rarity. Hold on, let me turn down the volume down real quick.
Ambassador to the
I can
Unicorn
hear my own voice.
Fabulosity.
One of the heralding trumpeters announced, Flority was a striking
Flority?
unicorn with a deep purple mane, expertly styled around the
Okay.
traditional ambassador hat, customary to her profession. Her hat, however, had a touch of her unique style, adding gemstones, ribbons, and lace. She walked with her head held
So,
high,
is she one
with
of
a
the
confident,
fairies?
slightly
One of the fairies?
distasteful expression on her face. She approached the king and queen and bowed. They returned the gesture.
Applejack doesn't look amused. Oh, Fluttershy.
Presenting Fluttershy, ambassador to the Pegasus Kingdom, Weathersby.
The ambassador timidly poked her head out from behind the doors and gulped, little beads of sweat forming on her brow as she gauged how many pairs of eyes were on her. She whimpered and took a shaky step into the doorway.
Fluttershy looks so cute in that outfit.
You can do it, Fawnashy.
A third voice called from
Fondashy?
behind her.
Yes, but don't worry. We haven't got all day.
Uh-oh. Sorry. Of course.
Fawnashy said, timidly walking forward. She was a yellow Pegasus with a long,
Wait.
pink flowing mane. And
Is that
she
Emo
too
Gak
had a
playing
traditional
Fluttershy?
ambassador hat, though hers was only accentuated with a single flower. She quickly made her way down to the carpet to bow to the king and queen.
It's about time.
Flority said through gritted teeth.
Alright, Pinkie Pie.
Presenting Mary Pie, ambassador to...
Mary Pie.
Hello, Apple Austria! Silly Mr. Harold Trumpet Stallion. Every pony knows who I am. I'm Apple Austria's ambassador, duh. Besides, I'm almost positive I'm related to the apples.
Sorry, I needed to burp.
Way back in my family tree. I mean, my family apple tree. I love it.
Apple tree.
The
Nice.
herald rolled his eyes and played the procession
pun.
for Mary Pie while she bounced down the carpet, waving and
But still,
talking to
who's
various
gonna be
members of the
Maleficent?
crowd that she appeared to know personally.
Chrysalis?
Mary Pie was a vivacious pink earth pony with a bouncy pink mane. Her ambassador hat looked more like something you would find at a foal's birthday party, with streamers and polka dots. She bowed to the royal family and joined the other ambassadors with a big smile on her face.
Must you make a complete fool of yourself? You are representing a noble and dignified profession, Mary Pie.
Flority spat angrily, causing Fawnashy to take a few nervous steps away from her.
Whoa, some pony woke up on a grumpy side of the bed today. Come on, Flority, let's see a smile. This is a happy day. We're having a party to celebrate the birth of this little baby filly, who's definitely a baby and not a grown mare.
How absurd. Of course she is a baby. Why make such outlandish statements that are obvious to any pony?
Flority whispered, just loud enough for the other ambassadors to hear. Mary Pie's ears drooped, and she stood quietly next to Fawnashy, who put a hoof on her back with a
Such
smile to
humiliation.
comfort her.
Thank you very much for coming today.
The queen said with a warm smile.
We will be honored by any gifts you have brought us on this
You
momentous
know, it's kind of
occasion.
weird seeing
The king added.
a king and queen having a Western accent.
Oh, me first, me first.
Mary Pie shouted, bouncing up to Apollora's crib, which was far too small for the infant it held.
Exactly how long do I have to be a baby pink Mary Pie? This is a mite uncomfortable.
Appalora sure is a talkative little thing, isn't she? It's almost like she thinks she's saying real words. You cheeky cheeky.
Mary Pie said, reaching to tickle the baby's belly. Apollora swatted her hoof away.
Don't even think about it. We're way past the line, Pinkie Pie.
Dearest Appalora,
Excuse me.
I
You just
come
said her
with
real
gifts
name
from your
again.
own Kingdom.
It's
A
Mary
gift
Pie.
without which we Earth ponies would be lost. In fact, it's in her name. I bring you Earth, or more specifically, mud.
Mary Pie
You know,
said, dropping
I thought
a
she
large
was gonna
handful of
tickle
mud
Applejack's
into
hoof,
Apollora,
but
who screamed out
actually
in
the belly.
surprise and sputtered out the mud that had gotten in her mouth.
Are you kidding me?
But not just any mud, it's magical mud. This
Magical
mud is gonna
mud?
help you grow up big and strong. You're welcome.
How thoughtful.
How disgusting.
Your turn, Fawnashy.
Yeah,
Mary said,
it is pretty
bouncing away
disgusting.
while
I have to
Apollora
agree with
attempted to clean
Rarity.
herself.
Sweet little filly, I come bearing a gift from my king.
Fawnashy said, pulling a small tuft of cloud out from under her wing. It hovered in the air beside her.
What? How does she do that?
I don't know, Pinkie.
It just came out of nowhere.
Mary Pie said in awe, pulling a bag of popcorn from her mane and offering Flority a bite.
Want some?
So, does the cloud do anything special? Ah!
Apollora started.
Okay.
It was cut short when the little cloud created a bolt of lightning that sent a wave of electricity through Apollora.
Oh no! It wasn't supposed to hurt her. It was supposed to bless her with speed and agility. I had no idea it would do that. Please, please forgive me, Apollora. Are you alright?
I'd say she was pretty shocked too, Fluttershy.
Mary Pie said, to which the room groaned in disapproval of the bad pun.
Before Fawnashy kills the little filly, I'll bestow upon her my gift.
Flority said, taking
Why is
Apollora from the
Rarity's
distraught Fawnashy's
magic
lips
green?
with her magic
Wait,
and levitating her in
Is
the air.
Chrysalis
But
Rarity?
before we get to that, I must say there is a rather troubling problem with the dignitaries present to bless the foe. Specifically, the exclusion of another kingdom from this celebration.
Earth Pegasi unicorn. Who was left out? Oh, I know! Alicorns!
Alicorns?
Oh, right. This is before Equestria, so there probably aren't any. Well, I'm stumped.
But all the pony ambassadors are present. Who could we have forgotten?
A noble kingdom, just as worthy of your attention and praise, but yet denied it. A kingdom ignored and shunned by you ponies for far too long. I do indeed have a gift for this foe. A gift to teach you pathetic ponies the consequences of your boorish actions and behaviors. My gift is a curse. Before this foal turns 16 years old, she shall choke on an apple seed and die!
Sounds like some pony needs a hug.
The room erupted in gasps and shouts of concern. The king, queen,
Sheesh,
and
Rarity,
ambassadors
how
and
dark
queens
are you?
watched helplessly as the foal was briefly engulfed in dark magic before falling back onto her crib.
You know, with all that monologuing she did, you ponies had plenty of time to stop her. Just saying.
Flority laughed evilly, her sweet dulcet tones morphing into deranged and deep laughter. Soon the Flority disguise she had been hiding behind melted, to reveal the queen of changelings
I called
herself,
it!
as dark and
I called it!
kings had come to know her underkind. The crowd trembled in fear as the changeling queen descended.
Look upon me, you pathetic ponies, and remember the day that you...
Pinkie Pie?
Pinkie.
What in Equestria are you doing?
Oh, it's funny you should ask. See, I realized that I always play the same character in these stories, and sometimes that can get kind of boring, so I swapped.
You what?
I switched places with Chrissy, duh! I want to be the bad guy for once.
You are
Seems like a
already
really fun
a
role
bad
to
guy
play.
in Applejack and the
So
Beanstalk,
that means
Pinkie.
She's...
Uh-huh. She's gonna be the Earth Pony Ambassador from now on. More specifically, she'll be the bubbly, fun-loving, party-throwing Mary Pie character.
That's, I don't know about that, Pinkie. I mean, she's still chrysalis.
Don't worry, narrator. Chrissy can't break the fourth wall. No pony will ever even know. Now, if you don't mind, I have to finish my evil plot monologue.
No,
Since
Pinkie,
that's what all the good
just bring
villains
Chrysalis
do.
back here.
Look upon me, you
For crying out loud.
ponies, and remember the day that you spurned the wrong kingdom. Let this be a warning to all that no pony, Earth, Pegasi, or Unicorn will be safe from the wrath of the changelings.
It's Maleficus! Queen
Maleficus?
of the Changelings! Seize her!
The king shouted, drawing his sword and rallying his soldiers to ready for an attack. She merely scoffed and engulfed herself in pink, I guess, disappearing from the throne room before any pony could lay a hoof on her.
Wait, so Pinkie is the bad guy and the ambassador?
Appalora shouted when she saw
Seriously?
Fauna and Mary Pie standing beside her crib, looking down at her sympathetically.
Oh, now that's just wrong. Pinkie Pie, what did you do?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, AJ. I swapped characters with Chrysalis. So I'm her and she's me. Alright, now we can get back to the story.
Aw, poor little thing.
Mary Pie said, reaching out to comfort Appalora.
No. I'm calm. Totally calm. Don't touch me.
Appalora said, scooting away from Mary Pie's grasp. The queen trotted to her daughter's side to calm her.
My poor darling. There must be something we can do. A counter curse or a remedy. Something. Anything.
Gosh, it feels so
The
weird
room
seeing
went
Chrysalis
silent,
in that
no pony
outfit.
knowing the answer to the desperate mother's plea.
The outfit that Pinkie Pie was wearing.
The princess. When they did so, a faint muffled sound could be heard from somewhere outside the throne room.
Does any pony else hear that?
It sounds like it's coming from over there.
Guards!
The king said, pointing in the direction that Mary Pie had indicated. Moments later, the guards appeared again, helping the real
There's Rarity,
ambassador
there's the
remove
real
the gag
Rarity.
and ropes that bound her.
That brutish devil mare tied me up and took my place. I couldn't do a thing to stop her.
Flority!
Mary Pie exclaimed, bouncing towards her friend and hugging her tightly.
How awful!
Fauna Shy said,
Oh my
joining
God.
Mary Pie in an
That bounce
embrace.
is like multi-sounded.
Oh, she stole my one-of-a-kind bejeweled ambassador hat. I'll never be able to replace something so exquisite.
Don't worry, Flority. Maleficus left your hat behind. She didn't want it after all.
She didn't?
You know who's playing Chrysalis in this?
Why not?
Is Magpiepony playing
Fair
Chrysalis?
Flority, can your unicorn magic or the magic of your kingdom spare our filly from such a terrible fate?
The queen asked, fighting back tears as she pulled Apolora in her hooves, holding her close. The king joined in their embrace, failing to fight back the sadness in his expression. Apolora's eyes too filled with tears, though not for her cursed circumstances. She snuggled into her parents, relishing being close to them again.
This story is such a strange combination of funny and sad. I don't know what to feel.
Neither, actually. You're the villain now, so such displays of affection should probably repulse you.
Okie dokie dokie. Ew, a tender moment. Preceded and followed by jokes and puns. How repulsive. I've got this villain thing down. Now I just need to
Well,
find a
you'll fail
cozy
at the
yet
end,
likable
Pinkie.
hench pony.
I suppose it doesn't matter what gift I had originally planned to give. Now I must clean up the mess left by that wretched mare. Sorry, Apolora. You'll just have to grow up without the gifts of elegance and grace.
I'll live.
And she can't have both because... I mean, who's making up these rules?
I should point out, however, that unicorn magic and changeling magic are vastly different. So I might not be able to counter the curse, but I can soften it. Darling Apolora, you shall not perish when you choke upon that seed, but instead, beauty sleep. You will only awaken from this slumber by true love's kiss. And, just in case that takes a while, the rest of your castle and the ponies inside will slumber too, frozen in time, awaiting that glorious day. That way, she'll be curse-free. You won't have to wait and worry about when that will happen. And she'll have found the proper prince. Quite brilliant, don't you agree?
Flority said with
You
a
know,
smile.
who's going to be the prince in
king
this?
looked to the queen
Rainbow
and
Dash?
nodded in approval and relief.
Because
but the ambassador
Rainbow Dash has
still
been
saw
the
grief
prince
and
in
fear
Cinder
her
Shy
eyes.
and,
Kissing a stranger
Little
or
Mermare.
choking on an apple seed. I honestly don't know which is worse.
Apolora muttered. For the kingdom's sake, the king and queen continued the celebration as planned, refusing to let Maleficus's curse ruin the festivities. However, when the day ended and the pony guests had left, the royal couple asked a favor of the three ambassadors. They were grateful for Flority's alteration of the spell, but would rather spare their daughter from the curse altogether. They knew that in a kingdom comprised of apples and apple accessories, that Apolora would never truly be safe. They appealed to the three ambassadors to take Apolora with them, to raise her somewhere far from her kingdom until her 16th birthday had passed. The ambassadors were touched by their plea and agreed. They fled the castle by moonlight, while Apolora and her parents watched with heavy hearts as the distance between them grew, until they were out of sight. The three ambassadors traveled many miles until they came upon an old abandoned cottage in the woods between kingdoms.
This shall do nicely.
Flority said with a smile, opening the door.
Still, it
that then
feels so
broke from its
weird
rusted
seeing Chrysalis
hinges
in
and
that-
landed on the floor.
in
Just
Pinkie's
needs a
outfit
little
that she's
straightening
supposed to
up
wear
is all.
throughout the
Fawnashy
whole
entered
story.
the cottage, pushing Apolora in a too small baby carriage. She accidentally flapped her wings, causing the piles of dust resting on the old furniture to whirl around in the air, making all four ponies cough.
Oh, sorry.
All right, a lot of straightening up.
Flority amended, setting Apolora gently down on an old bed with her magic.
I have an idea! Fawnashy, you like animals, right? Maybe you could get a few of them to help us clean the place up?
Wrong story, Mary Pie.
Cleaning is the least of our problems, Phillies. We have far more pressing matters to attend to. We are living between Earth Pony Kingdoms, and Maleficus is sure to find us once the villagers spread the rumor that two Earth Ponies are living harmoniously with a Pegasus and a unicorn. We will have to blend in. As much as I hate to admit it, I will have to refrain from using magic and conceal my horn from others. Fawnashy, you must hide your wings.
What about me?
You're an Earth Pony already, darling.
Well,
You don't
Chrysalis
need to hide
is
your horn and wings.
kind of an
Solid logic
alicorn
there, Flority.
and
Okie dokie
changeling.
dokie. Ooh, now let's name the little filly. You know, 'cause everyone will know the princess is named Apolora. She needs a new name. So what will we call her instead?
She's such a little angel. Maybe we can call her that.
We could call her Emerald for her lovely eyes.
Emerald?
Or Amber like her fur. Although I'm more fond of the name Opal.
I know. Let's call her Gummy.
Mary
Gummy?
Pie said joyously, then noted the confused looks on the
That's
other
what Pinkie would
ambassadors'
say.
faces.
Chrysalis.
You know, because she doesn't have teeth yet?
You can see clearly that Applejack has
simply must
teeth.
agree on something. We can't leave her without a name. Where is she?
Flority panicked, seeing the bed where she had placed the filly was now empty. All three ambassadors immediately began searching around the room. Appalora was not too far away, sweeping up the piles of dust on the floor with a broom she had found.
You didn't expect me to just lay around when there was work to be done, did you?
I can see that bow on that broom. Is that Apple Bloom?
The ambassadors sighed in relief, and Faunashy scooped Appalora into her hooves.
Aw, how sweet! She's playing with a broom. She wants to help clean up, don't you, you little sweeping beauty, you?
This joke is getting old, Pinkie Pie.
Mary Pie. That's it. That's what we'll call her. Beauty.
Oh,
Beauty.
I love
Alrighty
that
then.
name.
All right, they named me Pinkie Pie, Malefic something.
Yes?
Have you been here all along?
Uh-huh. It's not hard to figure out the 3 ponies pushing a baby carriage or trying to sneak away with the princess. What do I look like? An idiot?
You know,
Yeah,
not
you definitely
going
look
to
like an
answer
idiot,
that.
Pinkie. Hey, Winona!
Is that Winona?
Now she's Winkrona.
Winkrona! What?
She's my wacky yet lovable sidekick. Plus, she's a really good tracker. I didn't even have to try and follow you 4 closely when Krona picked up your scent.
All right, fine. Can we please just move past this baby phase of the story? That joke is well past its prime.
Oh, sure thing, beauty. Time skip.
Time skip.
Flority, Faunashy, and
There we
Mary
go.
Pie spent the next
Never
16
seen
years
full-grown
raising and
Applejack
caring
or
for Beauty
Beauty.
as if she was their own,
I'll just stick
pretending
with
to be
Applejack,
her
I
three
guess.
aunts. They kept a very close eye on
Because
Appalora,
I like that
whom they
name
named
better.
Beauty, and she grew to be swift, strong, and a hard worker. Beauty kept the cottage clean and cared for herself and her aunts. In her 16 years, regardless of her cutie mark, she never tasted an apple. On her 16th birthday, the ambassadors wanted to celebrate it with a surprise party. Rather than keeping her locked safe in the house for one more day, or pretending the day after was her birthday for her own safety, they decided to send her out into the forest alone to pick some cherries. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what they were doing, but Appalora pretended to be clueless and went along the forest path with a single
Oh, well,
empty basket.
we're going with the original
When she
name,
came upon the cherry
Appalora.
trees, she set it down and bucked the trunk. Soon after, a cascade of cherries fell directly into her basket. She walked to the next cherry tree and bucked again. But something much bigger than the cherries was shaken loose from the treetop. A blue Pegasus with a rainbow mane came tumbling to the ground, landing directly on
Did I
the
call it?
basket, squashing the cherries she had gathered.
Of course, it's RD. You know,
Yes!
there are a lot of
Yes!
manufacturers out there that
Rapidash is the
haven't
prince!
been in
I
these
called
stores
it!
yet.
I called it again!
It's comedy, AJ. You're supposed to laugh.
Ha. Ha.
Hey, I was taking a nap up there. Why'd you? Oh. Hello there. The name's RD. What's yours?
RD?
If your name's RD, why do you have an A on your satchel?
ARDEE. Ha, that's me. But you still haven't told me your name, beautiful.
Apple or Beauty? Beauty. I can't keep these things straight.
Apple or Beauty, huh? That first part
Just
almost sounded like
Apple or,
Appalora. You know,
Beauty.
that long-lost
Just Apple or
princess
Beauty,
of
I guess.
Appalastria?
And how would you know that?
No reason. Not because I'm a prince or anything looking to find true love. You haven't
Actually, you do kind of look like
seen
a
or
prince,
heard of
Rainbow
any
Dash.
pony named Appalora, have you?
The better question is, what's a Pegasus doing napping in Earth Pony territory anyway?
True love doesn't know one pony type from another. Plus, I couldn't find a certain special some pony as a Pegasus. I mean, there was this one, but she couldn't
Mag
even
got,
fit her glass shoes.
the lost narrator
There was
playing,
another pony who was
Rainbow
half
Dash.
fish. Ugh.
Just like in almost every video.
Something's missing.
Hey!
I figured that tracking down
character
a
designs from
princess would be
the
a
past
challenge,
Pinkie
and
Tales.
maybe she could be the one. Though I doubt she'd be as pretty as you.
Well, you're an improvement from Darling Dash, so that's something. You know,
Applejack just
heard this
mentioned
Apple
Darling
Laura
Dash.
isn't going to be around for another day, but by then she'll probably show up at the castle, so your quest won't be too long.
Appalora said, dumping the ruined cherries from her basket.
Well, that's the problem. There's no challenge in that. I have to find her today. Otherwise, what's the point?
Beauty smiled but rolled her eyes. She bucked another cherry tree and Artie followed.
I gotta admit, you're the only pony I've met who actually knows anything about this mysterious princess. Huh. Why don't you and I team up to find her?
And why would I want to do
Dude,
that?
she's standing right
Got
there!
anything better to do?
Good point. All right, RD. I'll be honest with you. I am Appalora. So I guess that means your quest was fruitful after all. You see that, Pinkie? I can pun too.
Not bad. Not great, but you'll
Yeah,
get
nice
there.
pun, Applejack.
You're Appalora? But you're on the border of the kingdom of Cherrysburg.
And yet, my cutie mark says otherwise.
Beauty said, showing Artie the trio of apples on her flank.
Doesn't really make sense since I haven't eaten an apple in my life, but I suppose that's just story convenience.
Well, can't argue with that. All right then, let's get you back to the castle. No, wait, that evil changeling queen might find you before the sun sets.
Well, you're too late because she's already standing there.
Don't mind that. That's just some pony trying to ruin the plot.
We could hide in the Pegasus Kingdom. She'd never find you there.
Or in my cottage, since it's about 2 miles that way.
Oh yeah, that works too. Race ya!
Artie said, taking off in flight. Appalora smirked and raced after Artie on hoof.
So I guess this is an Apple Dash
Meanwhile, at the cottage,
story,
the
I
three
guess.
ambassadors were scrambling to get ready for Appalora's party. They planned to clean the cottage, bake a cake, and sew a gown for Appalora that she would wear to meet
Oh,
her real
that art
parents as a
style looks so
princess.
unique.
Although it seemed logical for certain ambassadors to do certain
just
tasks,
usual poses
they had
from
other ideas.
the show.
Ooh, I want to try sewing.
And
Mary Pie said, plopping herself down in front of Flority's sewing supplies.
the art was traced.
I wouldn't mind trying to bake a cake. It can't be too difficult, right?
Which leaves me to clean. Easy enough.
Flority said, walking to the broom closet. Fawnashy pulled Mary Pie's recipe book from the cabinet and placed it gently on the countertop. Her little woodland critter friends started flocking to the window, so she opened it and let them in.
Oh, hello, little friends. Would you like to help me bake a cake for Beauty?
She asked, to which the critters excitedly chirped and squeaked their reply.
You know, this is like Centershy all over again.
Sugar, vanilla, and butter.
The last ingredient had an ink smudge, and Fawnashy squinted, trying to decipher it.
I
Oh,
think
hello,
it
Harry.
says powder?
Since when do you wear
Fawnashy
glasses?
said,
Oh,
and her
wham!
four friends went off in search.
But what kind of powder? Maybe I should ask Slumpony.
Fawnashy said, just as Flority walked past.
Oh, Flority, do you know if we have any powder?
Oh, don't be silly, Fawnashy. Of course I have makeup powder. It's a lifesaver. Do you need
Makeup powder?
Yes, please.
Up the
Wait,
stairs in a cabinet,
makeup powder?
darling.
No, Rarity!
After a few minutes of searching, Fawnashy
Ah, this cake is gonna be horrible!
and were ready to start baking. However, Fawnashy had failed to realize that woodland critters had never baked before and weren't familiar with traditional ingredients. The squirrels had brought 2.5 bluebird
Oh,
eggshells
it's
that
the
they had borrowed
animals.
from the bluebirds. The deer brought rocks covered in lichen. The chipmunks brought acorns. The sparrows brought worms. The rabbits brought dandelions. And the
Do
bear
you
brought
want
an
to make
entire beehive.
the birthday
Fawnashy
girl
trusted their
vomit?
choices because she knew as much about ingredients and
Oh my
baking as
God.
they did. She tenderly dumped a spoonful of makeup powder on top and placed the wooden spoon in the bowl to stir. Meanwhile, Mary Pie had found
Oh
a
my
bright
gosh,
neon
you
pink
animals
rose flower
are
that
idiots!
appealed to her, and she had wrapped it around her body in a way that she presumed a dress would fit. It draped around her neck, covered her flank, and wove in and out of the holes in her legs, binding them together. She then used her Earth Pony magic from her Earth Pony horn to sew the fabric in place with a small needle and thread.
Oh, Beauty is gonna be even more beautiful in this. You know, it's a good thing she's the same size as the rest of us ponies, am I right?
The others didn't respond, Fawnashy was trying to put her bowl of ingredients into the oven, and Flority was busy with a challenge of her own. Flority
Applelora's
looked
gonna
utterly miserable,
think you guys
and
are
covered in dirt and
horrible
dust.
fairies.
She refused to hold
Or-
a broom or feather duster in her mouth.
You know, in Sleeping Beauty,
instead
they had
tried to use them
fairies.
with her hooves, leading to disastrous
They were like
results.
putting
At
as
that
like
moment, she was reaching
just
with
like
a feather
regular
duster in her
humans.
hoof to clean the top of the mantle above the fireplace. She leaned forward in her pursuit, which caused her to fall face first into the unlit fireplace.
It's everywhere! No matter where I turn. Dirt! Dirt! Nasty, dirty dirt! I'll never be clean again!
Appalora and Artie came bursting through the door at the sound of Flority's cries.
What in the hay is going on here?
Whoa! Looks like a storm hit this place. On the inside. I win, by the way.
Artie said, helping Flority to her hooves.
Yes? Here? Not what I look like this!
Aw, but I wasn't ready yet. I still need to finish your dress.
Is that a dress or a straitjacket?
These
Probably a
boys
straitjacket.
raised you? How are you even alive?
RD, go outside and keep watch for Maleficus while I help my, aunts clean this place up.
You got it!
Artie said, zipping out the window to
And
keep
you're gonna
guard.
get kidnapped.
Ooh, who's your friend, Beauty?
Mary Pie asked as Appalora took the end piece of fabric in her mouth and pulled as hard as she was able. Mary Pie spun around in a whirlwind of fabric before landing on her flank, looking dazed and dizzy.
Let's do that again.
And,
Gosh, that looks
that's
so
RD.
weird just seeing Chrysalis
He
like that.
Is
All those
a prince
spiral
from
eyes.
the Pegasus Kingdom.
Oh, how fortuitous! A prince is exactly the kind of special some pony I had in mind for you all along. Perhaps he is the one.
I thought only princesses could marry princes. Does this mean that you are finally telling me I'm Princess Appalora?
The three ambassadors stopped what they were doing and gasped in surprise.
How did you know?
I found it in Mary Pie's scrapbook.
Appalora said, holding open the book for the other ambassadors to see. On the page
The
before
first
her
day
was an
we
image
met
of the three
Appalora.
ambassadors
First
meeting
day
her as an
raising
infant,
her as
with Mary
Beauty.
Pie's hoof writing in pink saying, "The first day we met Appalora." The next page saying, "First day raising her as Beauty." Flority and Fawnashy looked over at Mary Pie with unamused expressions.
What? I had to preserve our memories.
Well then, since the cat is out of the bag, we might as well take you back to your castle.
What? Why? Wouldn't that just make it easier for Maleficus to find me?
She knows about Maleficus too?
Appalora turned back a page in the scrapbook to show an image of
Evil
Maleficus
in
revealing
disguise.
herself in a cloud of smoke, with a shocked Mary Pie in the corner, as if she were pointing the camera at herself when the picture was taken.
Oh, why would you want to preserve that moment?
When I put together a scrapbook, I'm thorough.
You had a camera?
Regardless, we have no choice but to take you to the castle. After all, nothing here is suitable royal attire.
But
No buts! A princess would not protest!
Besides, your own castle would be the last place Maleficus would look. It's so obvious that it's too obvious.
all right, fine. You win. Any sign of her, RD?
Appalora called outside. Artie came flying back in, shaking her head.
Nope, not yet. Probably too scared of the possibility of going up against me.
Let's get a move on before she finds us. Trust me, that pony ain't never too far away.
Appalora said, ushering the others outside quickly to take the less traveled path to the castle. With Artie keeping a close eye on the sky and Appalora watching the trees, the group of ponies made it safely to the castle without so much as a hint that Maleficus was nearby. They entered the castle from a secret back entrance, so as not to alert any pony to their presence. Surprisingly, it didn't take long to find Appalora's room. The 5 ponies entered, and Appalora took a look around.
That
in
room looks
bewilderment.
nice.
Everything was decorated with apples. The colors of the room were based off apples, and there wasn't a single step you could take without inhaling a pungent apple scent.
It's a good thing my cutie mark is apples. I'd hate to have something else there. Celestia forbid the off chance I didn't like them.
Yeah, that ought to be tough.
Artie said, her cheeks full of apple slices and her hooves full of various apples.
Oh no! Get those out of here at once!
Flority said, exposing her horn for the first time in 16 years and using her magic to teleport them away.
Oh, well then.
What's wrong? Alright.
Yeah, those apples are
that
poisonous.
hurts. Yeah, that does kind of suck. Those were super delicious.
Thanks for that.
But tomorrow you can eat as many as you want.
And you'll get to see your parents again.
Now, let's see if there is something suitable in your closet to wear.
As pajamas?
I suppose this one will have to do, though it is rather plain for a princess.
Flority said. Her comment made no sense to Apolora, who thought the gemstone embellishes and shimmering fabric was plenty princessy.
Go on, darling, put it on! We'll be right outside waiting for you.
Flority said, pushing the other ambassadors out the door. Artie followed for a moment before doubling back when she caught sight of an apple Flority's magic had missed. She scooped it up off the ground to keep it away from Apolora.
Sorry, almost missed this one. Also, is it just me or is it weird that your pretend aunts want every pony out of the room? Isn't that, like, more dangerous to leave you alone?
That apple is green. Does that mean it's the poisonous apple?
Out of my mouth, RD.
Artie smirked and pounced on the bed, laying on her back and adjusting the pillows to best suit her. She took the apple she'd found and cut off a slice using a knife from her satchel.
Do you have to do that so close? It's been forever since I've had one. Literally. And the smell in this room is already driving me crazy.
Sorry, Apolora. There's a reason why this kingdom's known for its apples. I couldn't just let it go to waste. Not every slice of apple is going to have a seed in it. You're being a bit paranoid. You just want me to cut you a seedless slice?
Apolora's ears perked up, and she walked out from behind the changing curtain in her new dress. She narrowed her eyes at Artie and thought back to some of the things she had said. It wasn't like Artie to point out plot holes, nor was it like her to tempt her with a bite, knowing the curse was still
Love the dress,
intact.
Applejack.
Consarn it, Pinkie Pie. What have you done with RD?
What? No. Who's Pinkie Pie?
Cut the act, Maleficus. I know it's you. How does switching roles with Chrysalis give you changeling powers?
Artie's face melted into a scowl. She growled. And in a bright burst of pink
Are
smoke,
you
the
kidding
disguise
me?
was gone, revealing that she was indeed Maleficus.
How'd you know?
Pointing out plot holes.
Shoot! I can't help it. When something ridiculous happens, I just have to let ponies know. That's part of Pinkie Tales. Look, just eat this apple already, will ya? I've only got 10 more minutes.
Not my fault you procrastinated till the last day.
I'm just doing what the movie did. I think it creates tension or suspense or something. No one wants to watch a story where Apollora's curse comes true when she's still a baby. Just eat it.
Nice try, but you aren't gonna get me so easily. Just because the others play along with your crazy stories doesn't mean I have to.
Oh, really?
Not to mention the fact that
Just shove
I
it in
don't
her
think
mouth.
any pony could choke on something so small.
Yeah.
It's practically impossible.
Is that
Couldn't you
right?
have just left it as touching a spindle?
Uh-huh.
Did y'all have to make it apple related? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, God.
See,
Nice one. You just threw it in her mouth.
These
Now
are
she's choking
called
on it.
Pinkie Tails, not Apple Tails. Which
Apple
means
Tails.
whatever I say goes. And it just so happens that I'm the villain this time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't mess with the fourth wall breaking villain.
Okay.
The ambassadors outside heard Apolora coughing and sputtering and burst open the door in panic. By the time they found her, Maleficus was gone, and the deed was done.
Oh no!
The curse! I never should have left her alone.
Wait, but if the curse worked, shouldn't we be...
Mary
come
passed
on!
before collapsing on the floor asleep. The other ambassadors didn't have a chance to react, as they too fell to the ground in slumber. Like a shockwave,
What the-
Flority's revised curse's power spread to all the inhabitants of the
Magpiepony
country,
and
including
Lost
the staff,
Narrator?
nobility, the knights, and the king and queen. Apolora laid on her bed in a deep slumber.
Not sure how I'm awake, but here I am. Pinkie's so-called powers can't affect the self-aware, apparently. Something to do with that wall she keeps mentioning. Regardless, if she thinks I'm gonna play along and wait for a prince, then she's got another thing coming. Who am I talking to?
Well, the
Maleficus
narrator.
wasn't too far away from the castle, watching it unfold with a devilish grin on her face. She was, of course, aware of Flority's alteration of her curse, but she had her own plans to fix that.
What started with a seed can end with a seed. Or seeds. Whatever, the pun still works.
Maleficus said, producing a bag of small black seeds and spreading them around Apollora's castle. Almost immediately, the seeds took
Oh,
root
God!
and grew into thick, strong black vines with blue spikes. They engulfed the outer castle walls and entrances, and continued growing.
Those are like the
even over
vines from
castle
season
itself,
4.
effectively trapping the ponies inside.
Hey!
Maleficus sharply turned around to see Prince Artie flying towards her, enraged.
No pony ties me up and gets away with it! What have you done with Apolora?
See for yourself, little Pegasus. For my
And she's still gonna be awake.
Failed. You'll never get to Apolora or her friends. It's so much fun to play the bad guy.
Wanna bet? I live for a challenge. Your vines and spells can't keep me away from my truest love.
Truest love? You mean even more than that mermare you met back when your name was Dashy? Didn't she turn into a Pegasus in the end, so you two could be together?
Oh, her? You try spending 5 minutes in the same room with that mare. She's way too energetic. Sometimes
Yeah,
just
Pinkie
downright
Pie is
crazy.
energetic.
She has this really nasally, annoying voice, too. I liked her better when she couldn't talk. You know, now that I think about it, you kind of sound like her. Are you two related or something?
Energetic? Annoying? Crazy?
She just roasted Pinkie Pie!
I regret those words because they will be your last!
Oh
She
god.
utilized the changeling power that apparently came with her villainous position and turned herself into a giant, pink, fire-breathing dragon. Hurt and enraged by the prince's words, she attacked, breathing fire in his direction and swiping at him with her claws. The prince smirked and drew his sword, ready to counter her attacks.
A dragon? Ha! Finally a challenge worthy of a prince like me!
Ah, come on!
Maleficus's tail slammed into Prince Artie while he was monologuing, sending him speeding through the air backwards and directly into the ground, instantly knocking him out cold.
Hey, Maleficus!
Yep,
Forget
she's
something?
still alive.
Apolora shouted, spinning a lasso in the air that was made out of the still-growing vines surrounding the castle. She galloped towards the dragon. Taking advantage of Maleficus's momentary state of shock, Apolora tossed the lasso around Maleficus's neck with a hearty,
Yeehaw, you big mean critter!
Maleficus roared in anger, pulling at the vine around her neck with her mighty claws, and finding it more difficult to break than she had realized. Already the vine had grown to double its strength, and it wasn't showing signs of stopping.
That's for turning me into all kinds of crazy things in your stories. A wolf, a pig, a monkey, and a clock?
Apolora quickly grabbed a hold of another
Applejack just
vine and
roasted
raced
Pinkie
around
Pie
the
in
edge
her
to pull it tight.
fairy tale
As
stories.
Maleficus struggled to get her neck free,
Wow!
she wasn't watching where she was stepping and tripped over the vine.
Excuse me,
you
do you realize that you're collapsing her
That's
on
for
your
making
own
me
kingdom?
the fairy apple mother in Cindershy. You gave me that dress knowing full well I wouldn't like it.
Maleficus continued to roar in anger and confusion. She was trapped by the vines growing
Yeah,
around the
Pinkie,
castle,
you kinda
caught by
deserved
her
it.
own evil spell. Apolora spied Prince Artie's sword on the ground near where he had fallen, so she quickly picked it up and faced Maleficus.
And this is for your worst deed of all. Trying to make me sleep so RD would have to kiss me to wake up.
Apolora reared up on her hind legs and tossed the sword directly at the dragon's chest. Maleficus's eyes narrowed, knowing there was no way she could stop it. And at the last moment before the sword struck her chest, she
And she's
changed
dead.
back from a pink dragon into a green and black one? What the?
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, that! I wanted to be the villain, but I didn't want to do the whole death thing, so I swapped back. It was super fun while it lasted, though. I almost believed that AJ was really mad at me. She's such a good actress.
Isn't that cheating?
Are you saying that you would want to see me die?
Well, no, but don't you usually just capture the villain or reform them or something?
Normally, yeah. But I think I might have made AJ a little too angry. Besides, it's just a story. Chrissy will be back to causing havoc and mayhem in Equestria in no time.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you say
okay
so.
then.
Maleficus was vanquished, and her massive dragon body dissolved, leaving nothing behind but Artie's sword. Because her magic had a hand in creating the black vines, they disappeared as well, leaving only Flority's sleeping spell intact.
What, Derpy?
What happened? Huh? I did it? I vanquished the dragon! Oh yeah!
Artie said. She took off in a victory flight, and only paused when she saw Apolora nearby.
Oh my gosh! She must be sleepwalking! Don't
Sleepwalking?
worry, my sweet, for I will break this curse just as I have rid this kingdom of Maleficus!
Whoa there, RD. That won't be necessary.
Whoa! And she sleep talks too? And she's dreaming about me! How adorably
RD
beautiful.
thinks Applejack
Artie
is
said,
still sleeping.
cornering Appalora against the castle wall, with nowhere to run from her impending kiss.
Wait, RD, I think your first kiss worked just fine.
First kiss?
Yeah, you vanquished the dragon, and then you, found me sleeping up in that tower, and, kissed me to break the spell. Then you, came back down here, and one of the loose bricks from the tower over there hit you on the head, and you passed out. Yep.
Oh, well that explains it. So why isn't every pony else awake?
Artie said, noting that
Well-
the other ponies in the courtyard were all still
Yeah,
fast asleep.
Maleficus did
'Cause you
put a curse on
had
every
to
pony
kiss
else.
the pony who created the sleeping spell, Flority. But, just on the cheek works fine, I'm sure.
Alright, let's go!
Artie said, zooming away towards Appalora's room. Once in the tower, Appalora finally realized why the dragon had changed colors moments before it was vanquished. Mary Pie was a pink pony again, back in the role she should have had all along. She was pretending to be asleep on the floor, but Appalora knew better.
Kissing Flority on the cheek should break her sleeping spell since she was the one who created it.
Yeah, I know, I get
Well,
it.
not
We
only
just
she
talked
put the
about
spell
it
on you,
outside.
AJ,
Just
she put it
making
on herself
sure
and her
every
own
pony
sisters.
knew how this should work.
Appalora said, spying Mary Pie secretly winking in her direction. Artie planted a small peck on Flority's cheek, and the spell started reversing itself, waking the sleeping ponies in the castle.
Oh, Appalora, you're alright.
Faunashy said, rubbing her eyes.
Thank goodness.
Hey, why isn't that third pony awake yet?
Artie asked, pointing to Mary Pie, who was still asleep, supposedly. Appalora was confused for a moment. Then the realization hit her.
I think Mary Pie needs a kiss too.
Oh, okay.
Artie said, and without a moment's hesitation, she gave Mary Pie a peck on the cheek. Mary Pie bounced up from the floor joyously.
See, there was a true love's kiss in here after all, and I didn't even have to be the princess this time. The end.
Nice, pretty interesting.
I'm sure there was another page in there about tying up loose ends and Appalora seeing her parents again, but there was a chance that RD was going to declare his love for some pony else, and I wasn't about to let that happen. Oh, hey, I just realized the only pony who didn't slumber in that whole story was Applejack. Remember, because in one scene, RD was taking a nap in the tree, and then Flority's spell got everyone else later? Looks like the Cake Twins might still be under that spell.
Well,
See you
well
all
then.
next time for more Pinkie Tales.
Very interesting. Even though we never got to see Applejack sleep in this, but yeah, I still think this is good. Narrator Pony, Ariana Nicole, Agent O'Fluffy. Yep, the Lost Narrator. I can't pronounce those names. Yeah, it is pretty nice. Wait. Sky Blue and the Seven Colors. Oh! Okay! So, the next Pinkie Tales is going to be with Rainbow Dash as Snow White. Oh my god! Wow! Oh, brilliant idea for the next Pinkie Tales. Rainbow Dash is going to be Snow White in the next one, and the Seven Colors because, yeah, the colors of the rainbow are. Wait, hold on. Wait, so there's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. Yeah, that's 7 colors, yeah. So yeah, this video was actually pretty good, I should say. Even though we never got to see Applejack sleep in this because this was called Slumberjack. Yeah, I was hoping Applejack would fall asleep in this video, but if we don't get to see a moment with that, then that's fine with me. I really don't care. I'm over it. But still, this was brilliant, and it is nice to see Pear Butter and Bright Mac be in a Pinkie Tales episode. And yeah, it is kind of weird when Pinkie Pie made Chrysalis switch places with her in the beginning, where Chrysalis was going to be Pinkie Pie's character, and Pinkie Pie is going to be Chrysalis's character, and at the end, they switch back to their rightful places. Pretty weird moment right there. Pretty weird moments right there, I tell you guys. You know, so I guess I have no other words to say, but yeah, I'm gonna end the video off here now, guys. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and ahoy!